Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yo Nityam Chirvadam Guru Marupam Vyamo Tastaditarani Trinaya Mene Asmad Guru Bhagavato Siddhaye Kasindo Guru Ramayajasya Charanam Sharanam Prabhadhe. This is Madhavatrena Amritavasana Pramachite Bodhatmakaya Namastasme Gurudeshe Guruvashiye Nidakashe Sadabhantam Shantavanam Garuvinam Yanavanam Vande Sadguru Shri Sathya Sai Namama Antaryami. In the morning session we were looking at Swami explaining the 9 types of bhakti, but even in that there are 2 kinds of bhaktas amongst those who follow these 9 types also. The followers of the hard path and the followers of the easy path. The hard path is what is called as bhakti, the easy path is what is called as prapatti. The hard path is also called as the Markata Kishora Nyaya. The easy one is called the Marjala Kishora Nyaya. Markata Kishora means the young monkey, the baby monkey. Marjala Kishora is the kitten. But whatever the case may be, first, devotion, Swami says, has to be avichinna dhara, taila dharavat, just as pouring oil from one vessel to another. It has to be uninterrupted and continuous. This is the basis for both kinds of bhakti. So the kinds are basically the same, but the practices are different. The undercurrent for both of it is prema. Without prema, there is no point even in practicing bhakti yoga. So be it bhakti or prapatti, prema is necessary. Without prema, nothing can be accomplished or achieved in this world. Only when there is love, there is anuraga or attachment in its turn, produce a desire to protect and guard. In both the above kinds of people, love is equal, no doubt. But in the actual manifestation of that love, there is a difference. In the first path, the one of the monkey child, the monkey baby, it is the child that is relying upon its own strength to protect itself. Wherever the mother might jump around, the child has to attach itself fast to the mother's belly and not release its hold even if it is pulled apart. So the monkey will jump from tree to tree, but it is up to the little one to hold on tight to her. If it lets go, then it will crash and collapse. So too, the devotee has to stand the tests at the hand of the Lord and hold on to the Lord's name at all times, under all conditions, tirelessly, without the slightest trace of likes and dislikes, raga or dvesha, bearing ridicule or criticism of the world, and conquering his feelings of shame, defeat, etc. This, Swami says, is the hard path. An example of this path is that Agraganya amongst the Bhaktas, Prahlada. The first and foremost among devotees, Prahlada, no matter how many difficulties were heaped upon him by his own father, he held on to the name of the Lord, held on to his bhakti. No matter how much criticism was heaped upon him, he did not bend, he did not waver. He stood fast and steady. This is the first step of bhakti. The second is the path of surrender. The prapatti, it is called prapatti. Bhakti and prapatti. The path of prapatti is like the way of the kitten. The little kitten, what does it do? It just stays in one place and continuously mews about in that same place, makes a noise. It places all the burden of its welfare upon the mother cat. In Telugu, when Swami explains it is very nice. Talli pilla, pilla pilla. That's what he says. It's very interesting. పిల్లి పిల్ల తన తల్లి పిల్లిపై భారము వేసి తల్లి పిల్లే పిల్లి పిల్లలను తన నోట కరచుకొని. సో పిల్లి పిల్ల తల్లి పిల్ల. It's nice to know. Mother cat and the child cat. That's the meaning of it. So here the little kitten just stays in its one place. It doesn't go anywhere here or there. It is up to the mother to look after it. The kitten places the burden of its welfare upon the mother. It is the mother cat that holds the kitten in its mouth and moves it from one place to another to a safer place. So too, the devotee places all his burdens on the Lord and surrenders fully to his will. Lakshmana is an example of this path. Swami holds Lakshmana as an example for Prapatti. Bhakti ki Prahlada, Prapatti ki Lakshmana. But having said, given these two things, Swami says here, adds here that the path of surrender is superior to the path of bhakti. The path of surrender is infinitely superior to the path of bhakti, because in bhakti there is still the presence of the ahankara that has to hold on. I am holding on has to be. Prapatila there is no holding. You drop at his feet and you live as per his command, as per his will. You do not have any will of your own. This is the most important. The characteristic of surrender is complete self-surrender, Prapatila. In all aspects, one has to completely surrender oneself. To serve Rama, Lakshmana renounced all the obstacles in his path. Wealth, wife, mother, home, even sleep and food. And this was not for just one day or two, just 1 month or two, just 1 year or two, 14 years, for full 14 years. He felt that Rama was his all, his happiness and his joy, and that he would grant him whatever he needed, and that his life's purpose was only to follow him, serve him and surrender his will to him. If all burdens are placed upon the Lord and he is followed ceaselessly and unforgettingly, he will certainly provide everything that you need. This is the nature of the surrender type of devotion. They do not make any plans of their own. There is no need. He will make the plans for us. I think a few satsangs ago, quite a few satsangs ago, I was telling you the story of this old lady who used to make flower garlands for Swami. And Dasharati Amma or something like that. His husband's name was Dasharati Rao. His lady is Mrs. Dasharati Rao. Dasharatha Rao or Dasharati Rao? Dasharatha Rao. So this lady used to make garlands for Swami in those days. But Swami stopped garlands around 70s or 80s or whatever. Swami stopped the garlands. From then on, this woman was relegated to a normal devotee. She would come and sit and so on. No more conversations with Swami. Years passed this way. Nearly 20 years passed in this manner. She was in Prashanti. Swami was one day in Vrindavan. All of a sudden, two people knock on the door early in the morning. She opens the door. There are two students standing in white and white. He says, Amma, Swami wants you to come to Vrindavan. She started to panic. Who are these people? Why are they coming and asking me to come to Vrindavan? Why will I go with these two fellows? Who knows where they are taking me? Swami will not like it. No, I'm not coming anywhere. She shut the door. So the four fellows did not know what they came back to Vrindavan. When they went there, Swami asked, did you bring her? No, Swami, she didn't come. Huh? Did you tell her that I sent? Yes, Swami. Did you go to this particular room? Yes, Swami. Did you ask her, tell her this is her name? Are you the so-and-so? No, Swami. Go and tell her all this and bring her. So they went again and said, Amma, are you Mrs. So-and-so? Yes, I am. Then you are the person that Swami wants. Please come. No, I don't want to come. Amma, please come. Otherwise, we'll have to face Swami. You please come. So in the end, she agreed with total fear in her heart. She packed a couple of old saris that she had in her carry bag and got into the car and throughout the car, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, where am I going? Swami, please don't kick me out of Prashanti Nilayam. This is the only place I have left. This is the only place. I don't want to do anything. I don't want you to talk to me. I will just stay in a corner and live my rest of my life in Prashanti. Please don't take me away from Prashanti. Full of fear. Finally she comes and she's sitting in darshan in Vrindavan. Swami comes out, comes to her and says, what? You're a big VIP. Filisterava. If you are called, you will not come. You will make a big fuss. And then Swami said, do you know why I asked you to come? I am going to Kodaikanal for a few days. I thought I will take you there. I will take you there. Huh? Okay, immediately showered. Have you gone in plane? No, Swami. I will take you in plane. I will take you in aeroplane. Appo, the Amma could thought when the Nampa. There's a lady thought, he just came with 2 saris. I packed 2 saris and they came. Now Swami is saying for a few days, what will I wear? What will I do? Swami said, Amy, you're thinking I have only 2 saris? Don't worry, we'll make arrangements. Swami called somebody, go take her to Bangalore and buy saris for her. So they went to Bangalore. And they bought Kanchipuram saris, not ordinary saris, Kanchipuram pattu saris, silk saris. 6 or 7 saris for the number of days that she has to stay there. And all the accompaniments for inner wear, outer wear, all the wares. And to keep everything, or suitcase also. So then she came back for evening darshan. Swami came. Did you buy everything? Yes, Swami. Suitcase konava? Did you buy suitcase also to put everything in? Yes, Swami. Small example, small story. Very sweet story. But what does that story show, Abdina? When you surrender to Him, Bhagavan has already planned it out for us. Why should we worry? Why should we worry? Bhagavan has already planned out our life for us. If you are worrying, that is because you are an idiot. What else can you? I lost my job. I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know how will I make my ends meet. I don't know how I am going to run my family. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? He's already planned another job for you. He is giving you a break. But you can't take the break. You have to break your head instead. You have to break your head in worry. You have to break your head in... Why? Because you have no faith that He will take care. Prapatti is not there. Sharanagati is not there. Sharanagati na ella paarthu par Swami will look out. Throwing that burden, see, but for that the responsibilities are also there. Simply throwing the burden and sitting happily cannot do. What did Lakshmana do? He gave up all the obstacles in the path. Swami calls it obstacles. Mother, wife, wealth, friends, family, home, hearth, food, sleep, everything he gave up for the sake of Rama. What? Will Rama not have to look after them? Can Rama say, you left everything for me, now I will leave you? Can Rama say? Because you left everything for me, I have to take care of every little thing for you. Yeah? Ramanatha Brahmachari, Ramana Bhagavan attendant, Ramanatha Brahmachari, devotee. But பேருக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி Brahmachari தான். He never married. He remained a Brahmachari. So one day, he was late. He was late to the ashram. Bhagavan கேட்டது என்ன? அப்பா ஸ்ரார்த்தம். I had to do the anniversary rites for my father. Death anniversary, right? Every year it comes, I have to do the devasam. இன்னும் அதெல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க? Are you still doing all of those things? No need. You don't have to do all those things. Yes, Bhagavan, I heard it. Somebody else was there. Another fellow was there. He heard it. Okay. No need to do all these things. After coming to Bhagavan, why you want to? He took it. Then, the next time when some Tithi in their house was coming, and they were saying, let us get everything ready. No, I am not going to do all of those things. Now, in South India, especially in Brahmin families, this is a very important thing. People are very scared to miss it. They have to do it. But the family panicked. This man is saying he is not going to do what is wrong, so they all came to Bhagavan. He said, Bhagavan told me no need to do. Kula. This is very dangerous. Lot of people I know. Personally I know. Lot of people amongst you I know. Anna said, you come to me and I will say I never said it. I know a lot of you will say Anna said, Anna said. You know what Anna said? Anything convenient to them, they will say Anna said. Where it is not convenient to them, no Anna Panna. Nothing. They will forget everything. But when it is convenient to them, they will say Anna only said. I've heard plenty of this Anna said business. Who are you going to fool? You're going to fool only yourself. You can't fool Anna. Anna said. So like this man said, Bhagavan said. So they panicked. They came to Bhagavan. Bhagavan, hey, he's not doing. Bhagavan called him. Yeah, why? You're not doing. Bhagavan dana annik sonnar. Bhagavan dana annik sollithu. You said no need to do. Bhagavan said, I said that to Ramanatha Brahmachari. For my sake, he has left everything. He has renounced everything. For my sake, he is leaving. What have you given up? What have you given up? He has given up everything for me. Then his responsibility is mine. Whether he does or does not do, I have to take care. What have you given up for me? How can this rule apply for you? You better go and do. So, that complete bearing of responsibility Bhagavan is willing to do, provided you have given up everything for him. Without giving up anything for him, I will keep all the things I want, but responsibility alone I will give. I will give up what? Responsibility I will give up. Enjoying I will give. How is that possible? In what way is that possible? So here, Lakshmana becomes the example where Swami often narrated the story of in Panchavati, when they all arrived in Panchavati and Rama says, Lakshmana, build a Parnashala, build a cottage for us to live in. Where, Anna? Where shall I build it? Wherever you want. Wherever you want, you find a spot, you build it. Wherever you want. Immediately, Lakshmana falls down and starts to cry. Alas, what sin have I committed? Thought, word and deed have I not dedicated to you? I have never swerved an inch away from you. Why do you punish me like this? Why do you treat me in this manner as a third person? Rama said, Enappa Lakshmana, why? What happened? What did I say? I did not say anything. I did not treat you like that. Why are you saying this? Lakshmana says, from the moment I have come to you, when have I ever had my own decisions? When have I ever taken my own decisions? When have I ever had a wish of my own? Wherever you wish, you build the cottage. I believe you said, when have I ever had a wish of my own? How can you now say that you do it where you wish? Does it mean unknowingly, even without my knowledge, has ego crept into me? Has selfishness crept into me? Have my own personal agendas, have they crept into me? Abdin Lakshmana, Rama hugged him and said, Yo Raja, not like that. Just a slip of my tongue. Okay, here, you build it here. Now I will build it. I will build it. This story Swami always used to talk to us about. Tell us this story about Lakshmana. Swami doesn't narrate the story just to praise Lakshmana. It is to teach us also to be like that. We cannot have any agenda of our own. Girish Chandra Ghosh tells Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, I don't have time for my own sadhana. I cannot look after myself. Okay, give me the power of attorney. I will look after you. Okay, done. Given. Later on, Girish Chandra Ghosh says, at that time I did not realize what this power of attorney business is. But now I realize I cannot have an independent thought of my own, let alone desires. Cannot have plans of our own. Cannot have ambitions of our own. Cannot have a life of our own. Adane, what else is giving up to him? Why have a life of your own? Then what have you really given up to him? There's a beautiful or English song, almost like a hymn. I used to love it very much. Swami, we adore you. Lay our lives before you. How we love you. Swami, we adore you. Lay our lives before you. How we love you. How we love you. Swami, we adore you. Lay our lives before you. Lay our lives before you. No longer my life, your life. Since it is your life, you take care. Since it is your life, you make the plans. You tell me what to do, I will do. You tell me what to do, I will do. Don't ask me to come up with plans. That is not my business. I have something to you. After that, I will accept whatever the consequences are. You tell me to do, I will do. And if it leads me to great failure, so be it. Swami said do this, but then it is not practical. I'm sure it will lead to some difficulties. We better change it. There is no prapatti. If all burdens are placed on the Lord and He is followed ceaselessly and unforgettingly, He will certainly provide everything. What will He provide? 5-star lifestyle. He can, if He chooses to. If He knows it will not distract you, He will provide that also. If He feels it will not distract you, because after Lakshmana came back, 5-star lifestyle only for Lakshmana, no? 14 years only in the forest. After that, when Rama was the king, Lakshmana was with him all the time. Doesn't mean one has to live in the forest only, without anything. If that lifestyle will not make you forget Him, then He will provide it to you. On the other hand, if it is a temptation to you and it will take you away, then He may not give it to you. That is alright, because we are not interested in it in the first place. We only want Him in the first place. So this is the Prapatti Marga, where you completely give up your yoga and kshema to Him. You give up the burden of your welfare to Him. He will take care. He will know. He knows. He knows. He will take care. He's already taken care actually. He will take care is also a wrong way to say it. That means so far He is not, He will in the future. No, He has already taken care of it. He's already taken care of it. You don't have to worry. How will He take care? That's up to Him. He will take care. In some strange manner, He will take care. All our needs will be met. All we have got to do is make sure that we don't have any other needs apart from Him. This is the nature of Prapatti, of the type of devotion called surrender. After being a householder, experiencing sorrow, happiness and joy, and learning the real significance of all of these, one has to retire into the forest at the age of 45 or 50, leaving the house one has built and the place where one lived. If the wife is alive, then you must get her consent and entrust her in the hands of the children. Or if that doesn't work, then she can accompany the man, but they should live a life of brother and sister, himself being immersed in brahmacharya. And there should be a great change in his diet also. He has to eat only roots and fruits and drink only milk. Things should not be cooked fully, but only up to a third. Rice should not be consumed too much. If it is not possible to live this kind of a lifestyle, then he has to go around and beg for the food from the nearby villages and bring it back and eat it. And if there are any dependents, his wife is also there, she also has to learn to eat that only. He cannot change his lifestyle or diet for her sake. Otherwise, he has to send her back. If you cannot, then you go back. If they don't relish it, they have to be content with only milk and fruits, for he must not change his routine to satisfy others. However troublesome it may be, this discipline should not be modified or given up. And this also has to be specially noted. The Vanaprastha, the forest dweller, the Vanaprastha Ashramadapati Chodra Swami, he cannot have any worship, alms giving or any such duties. All duties are fallen off. He can't do any official and proper paraphernalia with related worship. No materials for worship he should have. No dana he can give. He cannot receive any alms from anybody except for the food. He must have the same pure love towards everybody. Discarding the old clothes only once a year. He must wear new clothes in the month of September, October. There are rules. Shastra has given all these. Then he has to have the Chandrayana Vratha. That is a vow of penance that you have in the waxing and the waning moon. Starting from the Paurnami. They will eat one morsel less every day until they fast on Amavasya. Then they will start taking little bit more. One morsel increasing all the way to. Then on Amavasya and Paurnami they will only have gruel, kanji. That's all they should have. In the rainy season, when it is wet and rainy, he should stand in the rain and do tapas. In the winter, he must wear wet clothes and engage himself in austerity. Performing such austerity systematically, he has to bathe 3 times a day. The various Upanishadic statements are to be studied and understood. The meaning should be understood and experienced. If he falls ill to some disease or the other, then the routine should be, this diet routine should be cancelled, and instead he should live only on air and water. Cancel doesn't mean you go back to normal food. He should live only on air and water. Then he should keep on walking in the northeastern direction until he dies. I'm just reading out from Prema Vahini. I'm not making it. He shall walk on and on in the northeastern direction until he dies. Being here, we'll Brisbane. Don't die in Melbourne. Go to Brisbane and die. Northeast. On the other hand, if he has no bodily disease, he is hale and hearty after adopting these above principles, then he will experience the spontaneous dawn of jnana. By this means, he will attain liberation. That's extreme, Allah. 45 or 50 it seems. Well, 45, 50 only the child is born. Another mother entrusts the wife to the child. Entrusts the wife to the son. And the Kalathila, they used to get married by 18, have a child by 20. By the time they are 45 child, the son is already married. So they can entrust the wife and your son ne through son is still wearing diapers. Another interest. So only two options. One, if you are hale and hearty following this lifestyle, you attain liberation. Otherwise, now go to this bed. இப்படி ஒரு Shastra has got these injunctions. We can't follow all these things. Let us be very clear about it. We cannot follow all these things. But if you look at some of those things, some of those regulations that are given, in modern day and age, we cannot follow. First of all, there are no forests to go to. Yeah. If you're living in Australia, you go to some bush, or after 3 days, you will not survive. When it's so cold, you will probably... Second, you can't stay there also. The park rangers will come and drive you away. They'll arrest you or something. Because you're trespassing in Queensland. Queen's property. What do they call it? What do they call it? Queensland only. Queen's property. Because all the open areas belong to the Queen. Because we are under a monarchy. We are not we are Commonwealth. We are not a republic. So, everything belongs to the Queen. So, all the other land that belongs to the government is all Queen's property. So you can't trespass on the Queen's property. So you can't go and stay in a forest unless you are indigenous Australian. So even if you want, you can't go to the forest. But certain things make sense. Eating fruits and roots after a certain age, we are observing, we ourselves are able to find out. The digestive capacity starts to slow down. After 45 years of age, you find somehow the digestive capacity that you had at 30 is not there anymore. Now, if you eat a little bit extra, acidity starts. Then I have to have Gaviscon also along with the food. You have to keep Abhipati Churnam ready next to you, Ashta Churnam next to you. Those kind of things also are necessary. It is not so easy. So then what, Abdina? Eat raw food. Eat raw food. If at all it has to be cooked, Abdina Swami says cook it a little bit, don't cook it fully. If it's too crunchy and hard, something, put it on all, you have to cook it. So cook it that much only and eat it. Not much. And he says cut down on rice. Yeah, there's rice tane. We don't eat annam, we eat annamalai. Our annam itself is like annamalai only. It is like a big mountain only. So then it will give rise to all kinds of other complications. So you eat less, health also will be maintained. Why should we maintain health? After 50, why should we maintain health? And only you can attain the truth. All life we have worked hard for the family and society and so on and so forth. We have not done really anything for the truth, but at least now we have to do it for the truth. There is certain injunction. Some of this we can follow. Whatever we can adopt and follow, we can follow. But some people say, many argue, how these kind of external disciplines can give rise to jnana? Are these not merely bodily limitations, they ask? Jnana can only arise by the realization of that principle that guarantees moksha. How can something that does not contain this principle be called jnana? They argue. But this line of thought is a big mistake. Through these physical regulations, vasanas are destroyed and ekagrata is achieved. That is the reason why we are talking about it. See, this is the problem with most of our lives. Generally nobody wants to accept age. Because we don't want to change the things we are used to doing. If we want to eat everything, we want to try everything, we won't have the same lifestyle. But we don't understand, we are not merely talking about physical health here, vasanas. How else will you get rid of your vasanas? So instead, what has happened? You have been given some time. You are given 50 years of your life to enjoy. You eat everything. You are anyway, nobody has to tell us to eat everything. We are anyway eating. Injunction, Shastra doesn't have to tell us what to do. It only has to tell us what not to do. Eat well, does Shastra have to say? Reduce, Shastra has to say. Eat well, Shastra doesn't have to say. Even without Shastra, we are doing it. Earn wealth, Shastra doesn't have to say it. We are anyway. Live comfortably, Shastra doesn't have to say. For 50 years, do all this. Afterwards, start reducing. Slowly start reducing. Swami used to say, for every 20 years, 20 is 2. Understand the Purusha Prakriti principle. 30, control 3, go beyond 3 gunas. 4, attain the 4 Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha by 40. 50, control the 5 senses. 60, control the 6 enemies, Arishad Varga. 70, become one with the Saptarishis. And like the Saptarishis, work for the welfare of the world. 80, become one with the Ashtavasus, who are responsible for the Ashtadikpalakas, who are responsible for maintaining the earth, who are merely watching everything without getting involved in anything but supervising the whole thing. 90, Brahma Sankhya. 9, 100, merge in the Lord. If Swami has given milestones for our life, and 50, buy a Harley Davidson. Midlife crisis, I'll grow a beard and buy Harley Davidson. That's what people do. At 50. 50, control 5 senses. If you must do something, control the 5 senses. That is what you should do when you reach 50. When you reach 60, Kama, Krodha, Lopa, Moha, Mada, Matsarya are destroyed, discarded. When you reach 70, you are one with the Saptarishis. You become a Rishi yourself. Ibriya Swami has given milestones for us to work towards, accomplish. So wherever you are, you must understand 40, that is the prime. When you are 40 years old, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, all 4 have to be achieved. You have to work hard towards earning wealth. How? Through dharmic means. Indulge a little bit in desire, satisfying your desires. But really, what is the desire? Desire is for moksha, moksha kama. Kama means desire. Desire is for moksha, not merely worldly, bodily pleasures, but for moksha kama. Bhagavad Ichcha should be there. 4 Purusharthas. If you delineate your life and say, okay, I am going to tackle all of these things. By the time I am 30, I should have a good handle of my 3 gunas. I should be established in Sattva-guna. By the time I reach 40, because I am already established in Sattva-guna, I will be able to earn wealth in a proper, rightful, righteous way, as well as further my desire for moksha. By the time I reach 50, by parts of it, I should have controlled my 5 senses. Now I should not keep wanting, I will eat this, I will eat that. Now I should not want to see this and see that. How do we control it? Chumma control, we will not control. Some regulations have to be given. So don't eat this, only eat this, eat raw, eat like now some control has come out. The beauty about all of these things is these control elements are all good ultimately for your health also. Not only for your health, they are also good for your mind. Mind becomes easy to control when you have the right amount of food and the right kind of food. Hita book, Mita book. Hitam and Mitam. Hita, beneficial food. Mita, moderate quantities. Moderate quantities of sattvic food is the greatest spiritual discipline that one can possibly undertake. At all times one should undertake it. Even if it is not possible, at least by the age of 50 we should start. Because we have had, assuming that the human lifespan is 100 years. Very few people reach 100 years. But assuming 100, 50% we have enjoyed. 50% of our life we have enjoyed. If it is not even 100 years, then 70% of our life also we may have enjoyed. 60% we may have enjoyed. Nobody has stopped us from enjoying. We had good time. Now it is time to practice some discipline, some yama, some niyama. Some samyama is necessary. So, vasanas are destroyed and concentration is established. The Upanishadic statements serve to foster and strengthen this one-pointedness step by step, kramakramina. The experience of the Upanishadic maxims alone ultimately will bring the dawn of knowledge because Upanishads themselves are jnana. But to gain that one-pointedness na enna appadina, the ability to focus exclusively and entirely on the Atma, on the Swarupa, that is one-pointedness. But if the regulation of habits, of food, dietary habits or recreational habits are not there, ahara, vihara, niyamas, if they are not there, then this ekagrata is very hard to accomplish. That is why for sadhakas so much of restriction, so many different guidelines, do's and don'ts have been laid, only so that they may help him achieve what he wants. See, our rishis are a bit naive. How? What can we do? As well as I am a sadhaka. No, the rishi thought, oh, he's sincerely wanting to achieve jnana, then I must help him. Hey, don't eat all this, don't eat all this. Hey, this is a bit too much. Why is this fellow going on giving so many do's and don'ts? I only want jnana doesn't mean I want only jnana. I want jnana. If it is somebody is giving for free in the roadside, I will take it. I thought jnana is like a pamphlet somebody will distribute. I will take it. But why now stop my food and habit and all that stuff? What nonsense. They thought we are serious, pa. They thought since you are serious, you need ekagrata, bacha. So to get ekagrata, you do all of these things, then you will get ekagrata. They worked it out and gave guidelines. We are chumma, not really meaning. Who wants moksha? Who wants jnana? An old lady used to be there. Swami used to tell the story of this lady. Every time she wants, she say, Swami, sirf moksha chahiye. Swami, sirf moksha chahiye. Kuch nahi chahiye, Swami. Sirf moksha chahiye. Swami himself narrated the story to us. So every time Swami in darshan, Swami passes by her and she says, Swami, sirf moksha chahiye. Kuch nahi chahiye. So one day Swami said, so one day I stopped there and said, ठीक है देता, मोक्ष देता, अभी देता. She said, Swami अभी नहीं, अभी बहुत काम बाकी है Swami, हाँ बहुत कुछ करनी है अभी, not now. Swami said, I'll give now itself moksha. I'll give moksha now. She said, yeah, Swami, not now. I have a lot of work to do. The children have to grow up, they have to get married, have to see grandchildren have to get married, great-grandchildren have to be born, if possible, great-grandchildren also have to get married. What is the hurry for moksha? It is not going to go away, no? I just told you, that doesn't mean you have to give it now itself. Don't worry, Swami, take your time. No hurry. And Swami said, like this only people want moksha. They are not serious. It seems to be the fashionable thing in certain spiritual circles. It is the in thing, the hip thing, the fashionable thing to say. What do you? Oh, I want moksha. Oh, he's in with the times, right? He wants moksha. Really? I thought it was a nice thing to say, so I said, don't take it seriously. What's the point? So all these niyamas are given so that we can attain one-pointedness by controlling our vasanas. If the vasanas are given a free rein, they will drag the mind in 10 different directions. Try it. You try it. Sit down quietly for meditation. Say, okay, I'm only going to focus upon Swami. Swami is beautiful. Swami is sweet. Swami is Adharam Maduram, Vadanam Maduram, Nayanam Maduram, Asitam Maduram, Amitam Maduram, Shamitam Maduram, Dalitam Maduram. What is not beautiful about Swami? Everything about Swami is sweet, everything about Swami is beautiful, everything about Swami is certainly worthy of meditation. So why not meditate? Can you sit and meditate on Swami? Cannot. Why? Mind is going in 10 different directions. Why is mind going in 10 different directions? So many vasanas are pulling in all directions. Why vasanas are pulling? Because you have not made any attempt to control it. You have not made any attempt to get rid of your vasanas. What is the effort? These niyamas are the effort. Make some kind of niyama or the other. What niyama you yourself decide. Get rid of some likes, accept some dislikes. What you don't like, you say fine, I will accept it. What you like, you say give up. Yeah, for what purpose? So the vasanas are good. God is not going to gain anything because you gave up bread or chocolate. You are only going to gain. You bring some discipline in your life, you are the one that is going to gain by getting a handle on your vasanas. Eat when you are hungry. Pashiki chapadala. You have to eat for hunger, but cannot eat for taste. No? Nobody is saying starve. Nobody is saying starve. Eat. But fulfill the stomach. Fruits also can suffice. No, chocolate is not necessary. No? Nobody can fill their stomach with chocolate. You can fill your stomach with fruit maybe. You cannot fill your stomach with chocolate. Then what are you eating chocolate for? Not for hunger. Only for taste. Yes or no? I'm starving, I need some ice cream. Only for taste we are eating. After eating full stomach we have eaten. Now dessert we eat ice cream. And what is that for? Stomach is full. Then what? Tongue is empty. Not only tongue is empty, this is also empty. So we are filling up. Isn't it? See, just turn the spotlight onto your own day-to-day activities and life. You will know how many things you are doing which are free rein to vasanas. And then we are saying moksha, moksha, jnana, jnana. Vasana kshaya is moksha. Moksha is vasana kshayam. Vasana kshayam, the destruction of vasanas is moksha. Without destroying vasanas, moksha cannot be had. One-pointedness is essential to establish jnana firmly in the heart, and this one-pointedness can be easily obtained by the above-mentioned bodily disciplines and the tapas, austerities called tapas. Again, see, self-abnegation or self-mortification. You don't have to carry it to extremes, but if you can go even slightly out of your comfort zone, keep pushing those boundaries. Go beyond your comfort zone, just so that you don't get complacent and settle down in that zone. But don't go to extremes and fall ill. You have to use common sense. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa would say, you have to be spiritual, not stupid. He would say, be spiritual, don't be stupid. Common sense. I'll fast for 7 days. All my senses will come under control. You will also be in ICU. You'll probably also be in ICU. Everything will be under control. Your breathing will be under control. Your sugar. Everything will be under control. With common sense. But push that. Push the envelope. That's the term they use. Push it. Go slightly beyond. If you like taking bath in 45 degree temperature, take bath in 40 degrees. Or 5 degrees for sure. See what happens. Or tapasya. What is it? It's a tapasya. Here, comfort is one thing. Slightly outside of that comfort is that. What is Swami talking about? Swami is saying go to forest. Leave your wife and go to forest. And there eat half-baked vegetables and milk. And if you fall ill, go to Brisbane. See, in the morning, he was the good guy and I was the villain. Because he said you have 3 choices, you can take anything. I said nothing, doing only 1 choice. But now, I'm not saying he's the villain, but I'll become the good guy. I'll be the good cop here. You don't have to leave everything and go to forest. You don't have to go to Brisbane to die. Although, Queensland is the retirement capital of Australia. They do go there to die. A lot of people do go there. But not walking, of course. You don't keep on walking until they somewhere they may not even reach there. Somewhere in Macquarie Pass they will. You don't have to do all that. But some self-abnegation, some amount of self-denial. Don't reach for immediate gratification of vasanas. Think at least about it. The least you can do is, I want chocolate. Immediately open the chocolate and eat. No, at least stop. Do I really need to eat this chocolate? Is it necessary? What am I eating it for? Is it not only for my tongue? Is it not only for the sake of my vasanas? At least after that you eat. Then why eat them? If you still want to eat, what else can be done? You better eat. Otherwise you will die thinking about chocolate and be born next year in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. What to do? At least think about it. Don't rush into satisfying vasanas. If you keep thinking like this, one day or the other you'll gain the strength to say no. If every time you think, at least the fourth or the fifth time, you will feel some shame, hopefully. You will hopefully feel some shame, some embarrassment, some hesitation. Chi. Although I'm thinking, I'm still doing, at least this time I should not. Then you put it aside. At least 1 out of 5 times you may put it aside. That itself is a big gain. Slowly, it will increase like that, isn't it? So keep pushing that. Don't live always in your comfort zone. Apadan vasanas will get controlled. This kind of external control will help attain internal control in many ways. To succeed in external is more difficult than to achieve success in controlling the internal. A turn of the steering wheel in one's hand in any direction makes the wheels of the car, which are not in one's hands, move in the same direction. The wheels won't turn in one direction while the steering wheel is turned in the other. The introspective wheels are based on the extrospective steering itself. Swami says that the steering that is external. Wheels are somewhere hidden, we do not see it. Mind is hidden, we do not see it. But these external habits we can see. So control the external habits, mind will come under control. Vasanas will slowly start to go away. This is the natural basis. Sometimes when the steering is turned in one way, the wheels may drag in another way. But that is only because of giving up the natural characteristic. If the tire has no air, which is true essence, then maybe there is no relationship between steering and the tire. No matter how much you turn, it may not have, because it is flat. So it has lost its natural characteristic. So therefore they cannot then turn as per the steering turns. The steering in the hand is related to the wheels below. If there is no such relation, then the journey itself becomes impossible. The connection is inevitable. Therefore, for the one who has struggled with and conquered the external tendencies, the internal tendencies become easily controllable. Adala, most important is taste. Bhagavatam says, if the tongue is controlled, everything is controlled. Jite rase jitam sarva. If the tongue is controlled, everything is controlled. Because everything starts from here. The external tendencies have name and form and are attracted by becoming objects of experience. So, to overcome them is a matter of some difficulty, especially because of long habits that we have formed. But internal tendencies have no form, even though they may be endowed with name. They are also experienced as ananda, so they can be overcome more easily. They can be tamed with greater ease. The bother is more for external conduct and behavior. These are associated with taste and form and heaviness. The internal tendencies have no form, taste or weight. Pure water has no form, taste or heaviness. Impure water is different in all three. So, to clarify impure water is indeed difficult, but pure water can be given any form required with great ease. Similarly, difficulty is all about purifying mental behavior which is spoiled by the delusions of the world. Enna artham appadina? Simply put, if you maintain some kind of discipline over what you see, you are already cutting down on so much negative influence that then goes and disturbs the mind, is it not? See, seeing something is external action, mind is internal. You may say, even if I don't see, mind may go there. Maybe. Even if you don't see, mind may go there. But if you see, will it surely not go there? If you see something, will it surely not go there? Apo, without seeing also, if mind is going to go there, at least you can cut down the number of times the mind strays. That is important. That is why this external is very important. There is no need to set right mental behavior that is free from such delusions, because such a delusionless behavior is already pure. It is without any trace defect or doubt, so why should it be set right? Therefore, if people first control and conquer the external delusion as much as possible, the external maya, then the internal tendencies will naturally move towards the Atma and find this. There is also another reason for this. Mind, the internal, is always in search of Ananda. If the external is going to provide that Ananda, it will simply go and enjoy that Ananda itself. If you cut down all of those avenues and opportunities, it has to forcibly search within and find the Ananda. Isn't it? You understand? A small child is there. You let the child run out, it will run out here and there having fun. You shut the door, lock the door and put the child inside. After some time, child will learn to have fun inside itself. Let Maybe first it will keep banging the door, let me out, let me out. After some time, it will find joy inside the house itself. The same manner, mind also, if you allow it to go outside, it will go outside. Then we cannot complain, my mind doesn't listen to me. Mind will listen to you, but you can't keep the door open. You shut the door and then make the mind sit down. The mind will have nothing else to do but to listen to you. Is it? Yoga and tapasya are only other names for the path of the control and the conquest of these external vasanas and maya. The rules of vanaprastha are but methods to succeed in this yoga. When one subdues delusion of all types in this vanaprastha ashrama, then the journey ends in moksha. But we need not say, or we cannot say, that this is the only path for moksha. Through whatever path grace is obtained, that path may be chosen. Beautiful Anavakyam this one. Whatever path will bring grace to you. What path will bring grace? We already know. What path will bring grace? What Swami likes, if you do, we will get grace. Very simple. Selflessly, if you act, you don't have to go to the forest. Live in the house itself, but make the house a forest. Make the house a forest. That is even more challenging. Don't have to go to the forest away from everybody. Live here away from everybody. That doesn't mean I will shut myself in my room and never come out. You do that only when you have COVID isolation, not otherwise. Even my spiritual isolation is not required. COVID isolation only may be required. Otherwise, no need. Then what do? Don't let other outside external matters get into you. More than that, don't poke your tiny little nose into that. That is where the problem is. Hey, what happened? How do we start? Even if the other person doesn't want to talk about it, no, it's okay. You can tell me. You can talk to me. Tell me what is the problem? What is your problem? What is my problem? Why don't you mind your problem? இப்படிதான் வம்பை விலைக்கு வாங்குறதுன்னு சொல்லுவோம். தமிழ்ல வந்து ஒரு வசனம் உண்டு, வம்பை விலைக்கு வாங்குறது. That means you pay for trouble. You pay and buy trouble. बैल मुझे मार. You pay for it. What is the use? So you stay here as though you are in the forest, unaffected by everything. You live in your little bubble. In that bubble, you sit and do such tapasya that it goes and reaches everybody around. And everybody comes to your presence and finds shanti, finds ananda in that presence, because you have generated such an extraordinary current of divine bliss and peace within you by your own practice. No matter what troubles they have, they don't need to come and open their mouth and tell you. By sitting in your presence, their trouble should go away. This is the goal, this is the ultimate ideal that we can develop and manifest. Through whatever path grace is obtained, you choose that path. Liberation is achieved by these rules and observations of the forest dweller stage, the Vanaprastha Ashrama. It can be secured by following this path. It also makes the person delusion free. It gives them one-pointedness. So after 50, start living your life as though you are living in an ashram. Imagine if you are in Prashanti Nilayam. Imagine if you are in Ramanashram and you are staying in the accommodation there. What facilities will you have? What conveniences will you have? Whatever is there, you will manage and make do with it. You will not seek more. Isn't it? Start living your life like that. Simple life. Simple life. We can live. What we have, we have. I'm not asking you to get rid of all the things that you have under the bin now. What you have, you have. That is fine. God has given you. You keep all of that. But let's not keep adding. And now, why do we add? Necessities are a different story. Otherwise, it is only for the sake of fulfilling one's own vasanas. Worship of the Lord by fixing one's attention and consciousness upon Him with purity of feeling and free from all external extraneous thoughts itself becomes bhava samadhi, mental union with God. Worshipping Him, not merely puja, etc. Even if you sing bhajans, the easiest modes of worship is singing bhajans. If you sing bhajans, how do you sing bhajans? Fixing your entire attention upon Swami. No extraneous thoughts. No other thoughts are coming in. Heart is suffused with prema, purity of feeling. If you do some activity, you sing bhajans, you do japa, you listen to satsang in that manner, or you do some seva in that manner, or you even do some puja in that manner, then that itself leads you to what is called as bhava samadhi. Union with God in the bhava level. As a result of this mental union, the Lord appears before the inner eye of the devotee in the form that he has chosen to worship the Lord in. This vision is not a matter of imagination. Swami makes it very clear. This is not kanum manomayamam kachi. This is face-to-face experience. What Ramana Bhagavan is referring to as manomayamam kachi is something different. The imagination is different to sakshatkara. Bhagavan really giving darshan is something beyond your imagination. He appears. What can you do? You are not imagining it. But the purity and the intensity of your bhakti, of your prarthana, of your puja has made him manifest himself for you in whatever form you have chosen. Without changing his location, without going somewhere else, the devotee can abide in the presence of the Lord wherever he is. This being always with the Lord is called Salokya Mukti. 4 types of mukti we speak about. Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya, Sayujya. 4 muktis. Salokya Mukti, being in the same place as the Lord. Samipya Mukti, being close to the Lord. Sarupya Mukti, having the same form as the Lord. Sayujya Mukti, merging in the Lord, having the same Swarupa as the Lord. These are the 4 types of muktis that are spoken about. One by one, Swami explains how these are achieved and what they are. First thing is the Salokya Mukti. Salokya Mukti, being in the same place as the Lord. It doesn't mean you have to go to Puttaparthi and be in the same place. Go to Kailasha, so that Shivayena Sahamodate, Abdina Shivaloka. Where is Shiva? Oh, Shivaloka. I have to go to Shivaloka. That fellow who's there in Shivaloka is not Shiva. You got the wrong address. Yeah, he who is everywhere is Shiva. He who is omnipresent is Shiva. Shivena Sahamodate. Enga Shivena Sahamodate Abdina. Wherever you are, when you experience his presence, then that is called Salokya Mukti. Sa Abdina with Lokya, the world. Salokya, the same word. But how do you do that, Abdina? You meditate upon him with such intensity that you feel his presence. But you are in his presence. This is Salokya Mukti. This is being always with God. Swami explains it as being always with the Lord. Ellapadu. All the time you are with him. Because you feel his presence all the time. Being in the presence of God. Now besides being in the presence of God, devotees realize that all that they see is the glory of the Lord. This experience is referred to as Samipya Mukti, always seeing his glory. Whatever you see him, you see his glory in that. You see his Leela in that. You see his Karuna in that. You see his Prema in that. This is Samipya Mukti, being close to him. Existing ever with him, witnessing always everything as his glory, and becoming suffused in the God consciousness is the merger with the divine form, Sarupya Mukti. Sarupya Mukti. This is the final fruit of devotional literature. Bhakti Shastrathana Sarupyam Varikyum Mukti Shalna. But there is a 4th stage, which is the highest stage. These 3 stages alone are not enough, because in the 3 stages also there is a sense of differentiation. I am always in his presence, but I am me in his presence. I see everything as his glory, but I still am me. Not his glory, I am me, my glory. And I am suffused with his consciousness, but it is me being suffused with his consciousness. So there is still a me. So these first 3 muktis, Salokya, Samipya, Sayujya, Sarupya muktis have still got the presence of the individual in it. But there is the 4th stage. Simply because the devotee has the same form as the Lord, one cannot assume that the devotee has the powers of creation, preservation and destruction as the Lord has. This is explained in our Vaishnava Shastras. They say when you go to Vaikuntha, everybody in Vaikuntha are also dressed in yellow silks. Everybody in Vaikuntha have 4 arms with Shankha, Chakra, Gada and Padma. Everybody has got a Kirita. Everybody is like that. But only the Lord Sriman Narayana has the power of creating, preserving and destroying. Others may look like him because they have attained Sarupya Mukti, but that doesn't mean they can create. You can't create Vibhuti. You may look like Swami, talk like Swami, do everything like Swami, doesn't mean you can create Vibhuti. Yeah, now Ishvara. He is Ishvara. He is him only. But although they may look like him, they are not him. Only when all trace of difference disappears and unity is attained, the highest stage is reached. This is called Sayujya, union. This comes of divine grace won by the essence of sadhana of each person. So it's grace only. It cannot be won by effort. It cannot be claimed by the fruit of effort. But effort, when it pleases him, causes the downpour of grace, which then makes it happen. So you may well question, well, why then can't you say it is effort? Indirectly it is still effort, no? I have to put in effort, then I will get grace, then grace will give. Then why cannot we say it is still effort that causes grace? Not all effort causes grace. Just because I have done the effort, grace need not come. Grace is really not a product of effort. Effort, on the other hand, is an expression of bhakti. To understand it again correctly, effort, sadhana, is but an expression, a vehicle, an avenue, an opportunity for me to express my bhakti. But in the end, it is bhakti that is making it happen, not the action. You understand? In some places now in India, in some Sai centers also in India it has happened. Swami used to condemn it very much. They will organize special bhajan. And what they will do for the special bhajan is they will hire a group of professional bhajan singers. So they will come. Like how you have caterers to take care of food, no? This is outsourcing bhajans. So they will come. They will have instruments, jang, jung, all kinds of fancy instruments. They will have big bhajans will be there. They will sing, these fellows will also follow as usual, but there will be a big difference. They are singing for money. See, the singers have to be paid. They are singing for money. They are not singing out of bhakti. So singing is the same. Everybody is singing bhajans, but is there not a difference between singing for money, for hire, and singing out of prema? Effort is effort. Same effort. But will both bring the same amount of grace? Can both bring the same amount of grace? If Swami says, I will come to your house, you say, fine, very good, I will cater food from the best restaurant. You don't do anything. So restaurant people will come, they will themselves bring all the food, they will come and serve the food. Even to Swami they will serve, you just have to sit and watch. Is there any joy in this? Is this what you would want to do? Would you not want to get up early in the morning and cook so many dishes with your own hands to serve Swami? Would you not want to clean your house yourself and make everything ready for him? Because that is the offering that you are giving. If you cater everything, then what are you doing? So if prema is not there, mere action alone cannot win grace. Prema wins grace. Action becomes a vehicle for us to express that. So this union with God, the Sayujya Mukti, happens only when divine grace descends upon us. The devotee will aspire to this Aikya. The devotee wishes to serve the Lord as he pleases and to experience the joy of the form that he has attributed to the Lord. But the Lord, out of his grace, gives not only the existence with him, not only giving the opportunity to witness his glory and being suffused with his consciousness, but he will also give him union, Sayujya. The path of Bhakti, Bhakti Marga, also results in Brahmajnana. Even if the devotee does not crave for it, Anichannapi, even if he doesn't desire it, the Lord himself will give it to the devotee. Union with God, Sayujya Mukti, is Ekanta Mukti. It is the highest form of liberation. We don't have to worry. He will give it to us himself. All we have got to do is live our life in such a way that is pleasing to him. That makes him feel like giving all of these things to us. You understand? You should live your life in such a way that he wants to give you all of these things. He should say, this is my labha. To give my anugraha, to use my labha, I want to have this profit. Only Bhagavan should want to shower his grace upon us. The Pandam for this much, if we do, it is enough. All sadhana ultimately is only this much. To please him. Sarva karma Bhagavad Preeti Artha. I just said that. And then I went to read what is next. Perform all actions in dedication to God. Is the title. For beings born in Maya, there are two gates of illusion. Kama, the appetite for sex, and appetite of the tongue. These two have to be conquered by everyone. As long as they persist, they cause sorrow. All worldly desires are comprehended by these two. So only those who have mastered these two can be said to have successfully waded through this world. These two are the causes for all sins, and sin is the manure in which Maya thrives. But although there is two, here is where the clue is there, how you have the handle. Jite rase jitam sar. If the tongue is controlled, the tongue has got two things that it likes, eating and speaking. If both of these are controlled, without much effort, the other thing also comes under control. Without much effort, the other thing also will come under. All the senses will come under control. Karmendriyas and jnanendriyas will come under your control. You will not be moved by them. You will not be caught by the vasanas of them. But for that, you have to control the tongue. If the tongue is controlled, everything is controlled. That is why so much importance is given to the tongue. Jihvopastha, our initial word. Jihva and upastha. Jihva, tongue. Upastha, the organ of procreation. Jihva and upastha are linked together. That's why they use the word jihvopastha. Because they are closely linked to each other. If the tongue is controlled, the rest of the mind also comes under control. Really speaking, this world has to serve only the purpose of sustaining the body. For those aspiring for liberation, they have to subdue the senses. Food is necessary for guarding the body. Dress is necessary for warding off cold. Bhikshanam deharakshanam vastram shita nivaranam, says Uttara Gita. However, if one gets immersed in these pursuits to the extent that you forget the purpose for which you have come, the goal of all activity and the holy endeavor, then what is the point? What is food for? To sustain the body. Why should the body be sustained? So that you can continue to do your sadhana and attain the Lord. To merely sustain the body, how much food do we need? How much do we need to earn to just sustain the body? Adequate clothing to prevent cold from affecting the body. Otherwise, then you can't function properly. How much do we need to get enough clothes to protect the vitals of the body for our honor and dignity and for warding off cold? Instead, whatever activity a person may be engaged in, the person must, as automatically as breathing, be contemplating on and be always aware of this. I am born to serve God and to realize my true nature. Whatever action you are doing, you do that action. But these two things you must remember. What is my purpose? I am born to serve Ishvara. I am born to serve the Lord. And I am born to realize myself, the truth of my own self. All the other acts, wearing clothes, eating, walking, studying, serving, moving around, everything should be done in the belief that they take you to the presence of the Lord. Everything done is done in the spirit of dedication to the Lord. Sarva karma Bhagavat Preeti. You don't have to roam around naked. Wear clothes. But with the knowledge, it's also for Bhagavan. Bhagavat Preeti. You don't have to starve. Eat food. For what? Bhagavat Preeti. And Ulla Rakara Bhagavan, Lord who is within me, here is the food for you. Reading something for the inner Antaratma. Remember the goal and then do whatever you want. Not whatever you want, whatever you have to. You can only do whatever you have to. Whatever you have to, you do. But goal should be in the forefront of your consciousness, foremost in your mind. This is my goal. I have come here to serve Him and thus attain the reality, the truth of my own reality, the realization of my own existence. The farmer clears and levels the land, removes the stones and the thorns, plows the field, prepares it, manures it, strengthens the soil, waters it, fertilizes it, sowing, transplanting, weeding, spraying and waiting. After all of that, he reaps the crop. Then, winnowing and threshing, he stacks the grain. All these various processes are for the sake of the stomach. So too, one must feel that all hunger and thirst, joy and sorrow, grief and loss, suffering and anger, food and appetite, all of it are but impulses that are leading to you towards the presence of the Lord. When one has this attitude, sin can never tarnish your activity. See the beauty of what Swami is saying. Whatever it is that you are doing, whatever it is that is part of the lot that you have got as in your life, you have to study, you have to go to work, you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to eat, whatever you have got to do. Always remember, Swami, in some way let this bring me to you. I do not know how, but that is up to you, but let this bring me to you. Let everything be done for you. Let every action become an opportunity for me to remember you. If you sit quietly in one place, remember God. Now how many people can do it? Very, very few people can do it. On the other hand, we want to engage in action. Prema Vahini is there. Let it be. But when you're doing action, use the action itself by telling yourself, Swami, this is for you. Swami, this is for you. Swami, this is for you. Chulindere. Let everything be something that will take you closer to God. Take you closer to the goal of your life. When one has this attitude, this is Swami's compassion. He is accepting the fact that we have desires. He is accepting the fact that we have karma vasana, the great urge to do a lot of things. But he says, alright, exercise it. But while doing so, remember constantly, this is for Swami, this is for Swami, this is for Swami. If you do so, first, sin will not touch you. Naivam papam avapsyasi. Sin will not touch you. Second, the appetites also will vanish. The desire also will vanish if you are able to live your life like this. Without any vestige of name or form, the desire also will vanish. On the other hand, if these desires are treated as important, then one can only earn sorrow, not joy. It will be impossible to acquire peace. Mastery of the sensory desires cannot be learned at schools, where only the art of sustaining the body is taught. If a person is ill, or even if the mind is immersed in something else, the taste of food that you are eating cannot be understood or grasped by you. So also, if the heart is filled with tamas, ignorance, or is wayward and wandering around here and there, then even if you are doing namasmarana or bhajana or japa or meditation, no joy can be experienced about it. This is self-evident, isn't it? You're eating food, but mind is wandering somewhere. But you will not be able to taste the food. Or the person is sick. He has no appetite. He has a bitter taste in his tongue. Whatever he eats is like sawdust. Taste is not felt. Either because of the illness, there is no taste, or because the mind has been distracted, the taste is not felt. Likewise, if the heart is immersed in ajnana or tamas, or if the mind is wandering around here and there, even if you are doing sadhana, you will not find joy out of it. So for that sake of that joy of sadhana itself, again another reason why people feel bored doing sadhana is because they don't find joy. Isn't it? If you are eating sweets, if you are enjoying the sweet, we need to tell you, eat some more. We don't need to tell you, you will be looking at the container, hoping that they will do another serve. You will not be a chore. You will not find it boring. But you like it, you will enjoy it. If you are finding sadhana a bore, sadhana I have to do sadhana also. Japa also I have to do. I don't know why I agreed to do 108. 108 names also I have to chant. Can't it be 18? Can't it be 9? Can't it just be 1? One time also a name chanting is not enough. 108 times, no objections will rise because you don't find joy in the process. It is so mechanical. It is so laborious that you think, why? Because we have not brought our vasanas under our control. So the mind doesn't want to do this, it wants to do something else. It is pulling us away. At that time, how will we find joy from sadhana? The tongue will be sweet as long as there is sugar upon it. Likewise, if bhakti is burning in the heart, then there will be no darkness. The heart will be illumined in bliss. A bitter thing on the tongue will make the entire tongue bitter. When qualities of greed and anger enter the heart, then the brightness of bhakti will go away. There will only be the darkness dominating the scene. The countless griefs and losses and sorrows only will be there. So it is up to us to make the effort to remove the bitter tasting substances called greed, anger, etc. and instead place the sweetness of the name upon our tongues. And how, Prema? When the mind is one-pointed, when the heart is connected, there can be no easier sadhana, there can be no easier way to attain instant joy. Instant joy. In India, we used to have Maggi, 2-minute noodles. It's always popularized as 2-minute noodles, Maggi 2-minute noodles. And I've never been able to make it in 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes to open the packet, for crying out loud. Even to open the packet, 2 minutes will take. The water has to boil. Water boils for so long. Have you ever tried standing there waiting for water to boil? It is like Treta Yuga to Dwapara Yuga. I don't know how they say it's 2 minutes. And on top of that, how will they show it? They will show it all dressed up with, but peas will be there and carrots will be hiding and peeking out from the coils of the noodles. All kinds of things. 2 minutes. Yes, what 2 minutes is the 2 minutes? I don't know. 2-minute noodles also takes more than a lot of time. Instant coffee also takes more time. But Nama Smarana can give you instantaneous joy. Then and there you will have joy. Provided you chant it in the right way. Maybe to get that right way, you'll take baths. I think 2-minute noodles are better. Instant coffee may be instant. To get the right bhava, that is the problem. Once that right bhava comes, with bhava, call the name of the Lord. With prema, call the name Swami. You know how many times, sometimes, in the night, when I'm lying down, when I have nothing else to say, Swami say, Amy. I think Swami just called. After some time I say, Swami. And he will say, Amy. Hey, Swami, I just called. I know, but every time you say Swami, I will say Amy. Because as much as I love saying Swami, he loves saying Amy. Amira, what? Amy, that's Swami. Okay, just one man. Sir. Every time you call Swami, he has to respond. He will respond. You call him like that. Call with sweetness. How Anandam? What more Anandam do we hear? You, Swami. Chale. If you are feeling sad, sing bhajans. If you are feeling very sad, sing in Shivaranjani. But if you are then after that, it's okay. It's okay. Be happy. Sing bhajans. When you sing from the heart and soul, when you sing to the Lord, when you call out His name, how much ananda comes to us. At least for that period of time, you can forget all your worries and fears and anxieties and sorrows and so on and so forth. Do that. Therefore, those who aspire to attain to the holy presence of the Lord must acquire certain habits, disciplines and qualities. The usual ways of life won't lead you to God. Whatever normally we are following, they will not lead you to God. They have to be modified somewhat by means of spiritual discipline. Look at the crane. It walks about pretty fast in water, but while walking, it can't catch fish. For that purpose, it must become quiet and stand motionless. Odu mean oda, uru mean varumvarai, kathirukkumam kokku. That is the Tamil saying. That means the kokku, the crane, the bird, what does it do? It will stand on one leg in the water looking for the fish, and when the right fish comes, it goes in and picks up the fish. But if it is wandering around, it cannot catch the fish. So also, if you are wandering around with greed, anger and similar qualities, you cannot catch the fish of Sathya, Dharma and Shanti. Whatever sadhana you may have, you must practice uninterrupted Namasmarana. This is an addition. This is not important. Doesn't matter what sadhana. I don't do Namasmarana sadhana, but you should do Namasmarana. No matter what sadhana you do Namasmarana. Why? Instant delight. Other sadhanas may not give you instant joy. It may take some time. Nama gives you instantaneous comfort, instantaneous security. When you are worried, when you are scared, when you are afraid, and you call out Swami, immediately you will feel an embrace, you will feel Swami's presence there. Any name, whatever name, any name does not matter. What name you are calling does not matter. Whatever the name is. Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Hare, Shankara, Prabhu, Yedo name, Arunachala. Whatever name. The name will instill courage in you. It will instill confidence in you. It will give security to you. When you are afraid and worried, some health scare, some other scare, whatever it is, how do you gain the peace of mind to even meditate or do your sadhana? Isn't? For even that, what do you need? Nama you need. You have to close your eyes and go within, call out to Him, sing to Him. If you cannot sing, just call. Some people tell me, I have gone beyond Raga and Tala. I tell them, go beyond Raga and Dvesha. They say, I don't know about that, but I have gone beyond Raga and Tala. If I sing, there is neither tune nor beat. So if you cannot sing, don't worry, don't sing. There will be a sin then. G will become silent. So please, G, Gai mat G. Please don't sing G. Please don't sing G. Don't sing. Call out the name. Anybody can call out the name. In fact, bhakti is there. What happens, Abhina? Rurudu suswaram rajan Krishna darshana lalasa Iti gopyaha pragayantyah pralapantyah chitrada Rurudu suswaram rajan Krishna darshana lalasa. Gopika Gita. Shri Shuka says to Parikshit, hey Rajan, in this way the gopis cried to Shruti, Suswaram Rurudu. Suswaram Ruruduhunna. They cried, the crying itself was Suswarama. Suswaramna, beautiful music. How will we cry beautifully? Shruti Vashanda, Shruti box. Okay. Prema is there. If Prema is there, even crying will become Suswara. If Prema is not there, even singing will become Apaswara. Even if you are singing, you will think you are singing nicely, but it will not touch anybody's heart. It will definitely not touch his heart. Whatever the spiritual sadhana that you are practicing, you must practice the constant and uninterrupted remembrance of the name of the Lord, Namasmarana. Only then can one master easily these natural attributes of anger, greed and so on. Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, all of them can be conquered. All the Shastras teach but this lesson. The Lord is the universal goal, and this journey of life has Him alone as the destination. Keep Him constantly in view. Subdue your mind, which makes you wander away from the path. This is the essence of Sarva Shastra. Alotya Sharvashastran Vicharya cha punah punah idamekam su nishpannam dhyeyo narayana sada. Somebody sat, it seems, and did research. They did a job. They had nothing else to do. Not like you and me. So they sat and read all the Shastras and made notes, cliff notes, summary notes of all the Shastras. Brought them all together and revised everything. Made analysis, findings. Went and did it again. Punah punaha. Again and again they did it. In the end they came to a conclusion. Idamekam sunishpanam. In the end they came to the firm conclusion. What now? Dhyaya Narayana Sadha. Constantly meditate on Narayana. This is the essence of all the scriptures. So this is what Swami says here. The essence of all the scriptures is this, that the Lord is the goal and the journey of life has Him as our destination. Therefore keep Him always in your view. How hard is it, people? How hard can it be to always remember Him and have Him as the goal? It can't be that hard. Please, come on. It can't be that difficult. High time to do it. Don't let your mind stray away here and there. Swami says, keep Him constantly in view and subdue your mind. Why? Because the mind makes you wander away. So subdue it. If it makes you wander away, subdue it. Starve it. Don't give it what it wants. Don't fulfill any of its vasanas. Give punishment to it. Hey mind, if you don't think about Him, then I will not give anything that you want. All the good qualities automatically gather around the person who practices control of speech and the constant contemplation of the Lord. See, the Dwapara Yuga, the Kauravas were engaged in wicked deeds even while experiencing the fruit of the previous births. Previous birth, good deeds were there, so they were enjoying. The Pandavas, on the other hand, were thinking and doing only good deeds even when they were undergoing the sufferings due to their past evil deeds. This is the difference between the wise and the unwise. The Kauravas were slaves of the appetites of hunger and sex, and the Pandavas did everything for the sake of the Lord, with truth, Sathya and Dharma as their charioteers. This is the difference. Those who are overwhelmed by grief can never feel interest in either a feast or a fight. Similarly, the real sadhaka who is immersed in thoughts of God can never taste or even think of worldly objects of enjoyment. Again and again, when we saw Prema Vahini also, so many times Swami repeated the same thing, and we highlighted it also at that time. He alone is the goal. He alone is the priority. Mind should be fixed upon Him. Everything else will become alright, easy coming up. Even our worldly life will become smooth. Not only our spiritual life, even our worldly life will become smooth. Obstacles and hindrances that come will all fizzle away. They will fade away as long as we are able to keep our minds focused on Him. He will take care of it. He has taken care so well for so many people. In every manner, every way He has taken care. Why every now? Because they have given their hearts and minds over to Him. For that one reason He does it to them. This alone should be our goal. This alone should be our aim. This alone should be the purpose of our existence itself. Don't get carried away or distracted by all the lesser things. Let them be there. See, many times I have said this, but I will repeat it. The joys of the world that are due to come to you as a result of your Purva Karma Prarabdha, let them come. Let them come. We are not saying no. If they come, you enjoy the joy. That's not a problem. But don't hanker after it. Don't go beyond anything in this world. Do not seek anything in this world. Seek only Him. And by His grace, whatever comes, you offer it to Him and enjoy it. Tena tittena bunjita agritakasya siddhanam. Upanishad, one of the highest Upanishads. Isavasya Upanishad starts off this way. Isavashyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tektena bhunjita magrada asya. Meaning of that is, the entire world is permeated by Ishvara. What little bit is there is also permeated fully by Him alone. Enjoy everything after offering it to Him. Do not seek anything. Do not hanker anything. So simple. Even if you sit quietly, things are going to come to you. Isn't it? The prarabdha will bring it to you. Yellavase nija karmopatam chittam tena vinodaya chetam. Yellavase nija karmopatam. As a result of your own karma, whatever vittam, whatever money you are going to get, let that be. But don't go hankering. Mudha jahi dhanagama trishna. Dhanagama means income. Dhana agama, income. Sanskrit la agama na anartham, coming appadina artham. Dhana agama appadina income. Give up dhanagama trishna, give up this desire for more money. What is going to come will come to you. Even if you do not desire, it will come. Why desire? Even if you don't desire, it is going to come. Now, why desire and get a bad name? Think about it. Why now desire and get a bad name? If you keep quiet also, you'll get the chocolate. Instead, when are you going to get a chocolate? Chocolate, I saw you some chocolate came. When are you going to give chocolate? Hey, keep quiet. What all the time chocolate? You'll get a scold. Child, you will ask the parent, I saw somebody brought chocolate. When are you giving? When are you giving chocolate? Can I have chocolate? You will get scolded. Anyway, you will get chocolate. You may get the chocolate, but you will get scolded. If you keep quiet, what are they going to do with the chocolate? Build a temple, are they going to keep it in the altar? They will cut and give it to you. At the time, quietly, if you eat it, good child, doesn't ask anything. That is what Krishna tells Arjuna. Tasmat uttishta yasholabasva. Bhagavan tells him, Mandu, you get up and gain fame. I am giving everything to you. You gain all of that. Don't ask anything. What I give, you take. Enjoy. Be happy. God does not want us to be sad. God does not want us to be sad. How can He want us to be sad? Arey, mother and father He is. Love of a million mothers He has got in His heart. Will He want us to be sad? He will want us to be happy all the time. So God wants us to be happy. So be happy. But don't go running around asking for all these things. It is an insult to His compassion. It is an insult to His love. When He is so meticulously planning out your entire life for you, to want to plan it for yourself, in Tamil we have a word for it, Adhiga Prasangita. The Adhiga Prasangita, speaking out of turn. Limited knowledge, you are butting in and telling some things when your business is to shut up and sit down. And once Vislop went and told Swami, during study circles, some people don't say anything, they keep quiet. Only some people talk all the time, Swami. Some people keep quiet. It is so cute. It is so cute because Islam is Western fellow, no? So he thought everybody should talk. How to make everybody talk? Only some people are talking. So we should give equal opportunities to everybody to talk. Why give equal opportunity? Should every idiot get an equal opportunity? Is that not idiotic? But no, everybody should have opportunity. So he went and told Swami, only some people are talking, others are keeping quiet. Swami looked at him with a big question mark on his face. But that is correct. Only those who know will say, others will keep quiet and listen. What is wrong in this? It is so sweet to read that passage. I think in conversations with Sai you will find it. Or my Baba and I, somewhere you will find it. But Swami's response is so innocent and so natural and so Indian. So natural and sensible also. Because the person who knows will speak, the person who doesn't know will keep quiet. But speaking out of turn, like that, when God is so carefully, compassionately, lovingly, meticulously planning out your entire life to speak out of turn. I want this, I want that, and I want this in this way. and not in that way, how will he feel? Is it not an insult to his love and compassion? Do you know better than him? Is that even a question that we need to ask and answer? Please don't answer that question. Do you know better than him? And do you care even for yourself? Do you care more than him? Even for others, can you care more than he can care? Sometimes honestly I have no sympathy for those who care for others. Oh, they are in some. You could not possibly care more for them than he does. Isn't it? So knowing all of that, what should we do? Be one-pointed. My goal is you. You're looking after me. You're planning my life out so beautifully. All I need to do is, in Tamil we have a saying, the saying, it means, I want to stitch this body as a pair of slippers and offer it to you, Swami. I will make my body, my skin into a slipper for you. What does it mean? It means use me like that, Swami. I am existing to be your mere padukas. Let me be your padukas. You wear me and you walk everywhere. Walk all over me. Walk all over the world with me. It is all I am living for. To be of service to you. Nitya Kainkaryam. Nitya Kainkaryam. Eternal service to you. That is all I am living for. I do not want all these things. Why should I seek all these things? What a foolish thing it is to seek all these. If I remain as your servant, will you not take care of me? What kind of a Lord is he? Is he an ordinary master? Is he an ordinary employer? Will he not look into the smallest detail and take care of us if we depend only and solely upon him for everything? What does depending upon him alone mean practically? Not seeking anything else. We'll stop here for today. And come back again tomorrow morning, last, I suppose, day for Prema Vahini, 2 more sessions. Morning and evening, double. Happy Easter to everybody. Today is Easter Sunday, the day that Christ arose, ascension, rising up. Let it be an Easter for us also, because let us also rise up from mortality to immortality, bound to the body, bound by bodily needs and wants and desires and appetites, bound by mere selfish desires all the time. Instead of that, shedding that mortality, let us rise up into immortality. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kashyat dukha bhag bhavet, loka samstha sukhino bhavantu, loka samstha sukhino bhavantu, loka samstha sukhino bhavantu. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Sai Ishvara Arpanamastu.